Crimson Trace introduces a line of feature-rich world-class rifle scopes. This new line features 8 custom-designed reticles for specific applications, as well as a full lifetime warranty on all scopes. Find out more at crimsontrace.com.
Welcome to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, where there's more to talk about than shooting. There's reloading and hunting and self-defense, too.
Oh, there's so much to talk about when it comes to guns and shooting and all the rest of it. It doesn't matter if it's handguns, shotguns, rifles. We like them all. What we like is the mechanical aspects of guns. They're interesting. They're fascinating. They're kind of ancient in some ways. They're old. They're primitive. And they're new and they're cool. And we're using new technology on old designs. A lot of fun stuff. Of course, we have guns for self-defense. We have them for hunting. We have them for competition, for just pure recreational shooting, going out and knocking over a tin can. The ultimate in remote control. Pull the trigger here, something happens down there. It's pretty darn cool. Of course, that's only if you do your part. It's challenging, and that's what makes it fun. If it wasn't hard, what would be the fun of it? I mean, you could do it at different levels, of course. But, you know, one of the things that's cool about shooting is you never actually really master it. You can always get better. There are always harder games. I mean, I don't care if you're Jerry Midgelik or Doug Koenig or Rob Latham, you're always trying to get better. And therein lies a lot of the fun as well, which, you know, gives us a reason to go burn up some more ammo, which is always a good thing to do. You know, what do I always say? What do? We like to turn money into noise. Cars, boats, four-wheelers, guns, all the rest of it. We turn money into noise. It's a pretty cool deal. And when you're looking for cool guns and interesting things, and kind of what I'm talking about of new technology and older designs, or maybe even sometimes newer designs based on old technology, one of the companies that's been doing that for a long time now is Kimber. Rachel Maloney joins us right now from Kimber. Talk about some of the new cool stuff they have. Hey, Rachel, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm getting to play with toys and guns and try new stuff. And, you know, I think when it comes to Kimber, a lot of people know Kimber, or at least they think they know Kimber, because Kimber makes 1911s. Right. Well, true enough, right? I mean, you certainly make 1911s, and a lot of them, and a lot of good ones. But that's not all you make.
Correct.
It's not all you guys do. And, you know, you're not stuck in the year 1911. You're doing new stuff as well.
Yeah, we absolutely are. You know, I think last time we talked, certainly at NRA show, I believe I came to the table with just revolvers, which is a pretty surprising moment for us, known as the 1911 company. We've definitely moved out to different platforms, and, you know, it was really important that, you know, we always kind of bring our precision touch to everything that we do. And, yeah, I mean, at the same time, we brought a newer look and feel to a 1911 just recently with our repeat. It's important to us that, you know, we don't leave that mainstay behind. I mean, like you mentioned before, bringing new technology to older designs. It's a classic design for a reason, you know. Well,
it is because it works and it shoots great. You know, I got to tell you, when I first heard that Kimber was going to bring out a revolver several years ago, I'm going, really? Come on, guys, you know. You guys, you do this so well with the 1911s. You're really good at that. You make really good rifles. You don't need to go doing that. And then you pick one up, you go, oh, wow. Yeah. This is really nice, you know?
Right. Right. I mean, listen, you know, we're shooters too, you know, and we understand, you know, hey, why are you going to bring another revolver to the market?
Yeah, really.
You know, sounds boring at first, but for us, it was really important to introduce something. Once again, coming from that custom in a production environment, producing a revolver that you can go to the store, you can pick up, and you can walk out that has an incredible trigger. And then on that K6S platform, it is the slimmest 6-shot 357 cylinder out there right now. So it's really, you know, it's something that we tried to really think about all the needs of what's going on with revolvers. granted, there are a lot of incredible companies that do really beautiful revolvers, but we didn't want to just hurl one out there. We, for our perspective, wanted to produce something that was incredible right off the shelf.
It feels great. It's solid. And I was thinking when you're talking, I was thinking about the whole Kimber line, and I go way back with Kimber. I probably got my first Kimber in 1911 and like 30 years ago. I mean, it's like way back. But, and this is not your official motto, but when I think of Kimber, I think it could be the internal motto, which is real simple, which is make good stuff.
Yeah.
That's what you guys do. You make good stuff.
It's really important to us that, if we're going to put something out in the world that, we put our hands into that production. Of course, we try and meld both worlds, but there's still someone doing work on those guns before they leave us. And, whether it is a revolver or whether it's our 1911s, our micros, and now our EVOs.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because this one looks different. It is different. It's like, okay, I kind of recognize it, but the EVO is not a 1911, really, is it?
No, one of the things that, we have as an advantage is that incredible base and ergonomics with the 1911.
Okay,
so that grip angle, it's absolutely legendary for a reason. So we wanted to take that to a striker fired platform. But, one of the things that we do, and we do all well, is all metal guns. So, what we wanted to explore was a subcompact carry gun that was all metal and striker fired. I think SIG just put out their tungsten infused grip. Because they're bringing weight back to guns, right? So
because they shoot better when they're heavier.
Yeah, exactly. And there are a lot of incredible performance changes that have happened in our holster and belt world that have allowed us to carry guns that have a little bit more weight to them, right? So it's not just that basic leather holster anymore. There's a lot of work that's gone into all of the rest of that carry ecosystem. So now we're dealing with, we can put a little bit more weight back in guns and make them more shootable.
Yeah, and they're still comfortable because we have good holsters, we have good belts. Okay, so I'm looking at the picture of the EVO here. And, of course, we've handled it at the shows. I haven't actually shot one, I have to admit. But the thing that strikes me is that what people need to understand is think of it as, if you try to describe it to somebody who hadn't seen it, think of it as a 1911, but it doesn't have a hammer and it does not have an external safety. It's more modern polymer pistol, but it's a metal pistol that looks like a 1911, and it's a weird description, but there it is.
It is a weird description, but you can absolutely see its pedigree.
Yeah, you can. It looks like a 1911 that somebody basically took a buffering wheel to it and just knocked off everything, including the hammer and the external thumb safety, and went, now, there you go. I went, that's pretty cool for a carry gun.
Yeah. Yeah, and, again, this one, this particular platform kind of follows our same history. We loaded it up with features. It's FNC on that slide. All the sights are steel. They've all got ledge. They've all got an interchangeable grip system. So if you need a swell that's a little bit narrower or you need a little bit thicker swell on that grip, you've got options. You can switch that mag catch around. These are all things that we know that are out there in the market, and they matter to people when they're choosing their guns. We live in a world where we can tailor everything else to ourselves.
Well, but I want to mention something here. You mentioned that we put some weight back into the gun, and people think, I don't want a heavy gun. This thing is still only 19 ounces. I mean, we're not talking about a big brick on your belt here. This is it's a 19-ounce carry gun still. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good to highlight that we're not talking in extremes here, but one of the things that does matter is just putting a few more ounces back in is not going to make a big difference on your belt line, but it could make a very big difference in your ability to place accurate shots, and that's what counts.
You're a shooter. When you tell somebody about what it's like to shoot the EVO, how do you describe it?
describe it, it shoots a lot bigger in the sense that it does not feel like it's this tiny little mouse gun jumping around in your hands. There's a lot of engineering work done. There's a lot of rail space on that gun. And the overall big premise that we wanted was something that shot and managed recoil as much as it could in the gun so that the shooter perceived like recoil is so much less on a I think the barrel is 3.16 inches in length.
9 millimeter.
So we're talking about a real a subcompact carry gun that shoots as though it's a 4 or 5 inch. It's really incredible, and I appreciate that's a big statement, and it is perception based. But I encourage people to go shoot the gun.
All right, now I'm seeing something that I never see from Kimber. This is a rarity, which is basically we call it Kimber Rewards, a rebate program on the EVO. What's the deal?
So we really love the EVO SP, and we're very, very proud of the gun. We also appreciate that this is there's a lot of choices at the counter, and for us we want, like I said, we want people to go shoot that gun and enjoy that gun as much as we do. I want people to get behind that gun and be surprised by the way that gun shoots. And one of the things that we wanted to do is just, hey, we get it. It's a long summer. Everybody's got ammo budgets. Why don't we sweeten the deal a little bit? We want for you guys to make that choice and be happy with that choice, and maybe take that extra $100 and take it out to a training class, put it into a club membership. Buy some more ammo.
See, you and I think the same way. We're thinking, hey, you're a shooter, buy more ammo.
That's always ammo.
Very cool. All right, so obviously people can get more information on Kimber guns at kimberamerica.com. And you're still making all the 1911s, still got all that stuff, right? Did we lose her? We lost her. Oh, well.
Oh, no, sorry.
You're still there. I'm sorry. No, okay, you're still there. Rachel, you guys are still making all the 1911s, right? Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we just had our Repeat in 10 millimeter has started shipping a couple weeks ago. The Repeat pistol was officially released at SHOT this year, and that is a 1911 that it looks as fast as it runs, as it were. It's a ported slide. It's got a gold TIN. It's a titanium nitride coated barrel. It's really pretty.
It's gorgeous. I'm looking at it right now online. Yeah, the Repeat, REPIDE, if you're looking it up. Listen, I got a scoot, so the deal with the rebates is what? How does it work?
So that's pretty easy. All you have to do is go to kimberamerica.com/promotion. And if you purchase an EVO SP, enter your information, and we'll mail out $100 to you. And that's it. It's that complicated.
Cool.
It runs until September 30th. So just make sure that you do head over to your gun shop and pick up your EVO SP.
There you go. Rachel Maloney from Kimber. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. 866-TALK-GUN. We are now open lines. Tell me about the guns that you are buying, thinking about buying, or if you got a favorite, and I'm really into this right now, a favorite old deer, elk, antelope gun, rifle, cartridge. I would like to know what it is because I'm looking around. I got this new stuff, but I always like those old ones as well. Number here, 866-TALK-GUN.
Built to perform in the harshest conditions, the Ruger American pistol can take it all, from ice to dust and everything in between. The Ruger American pistol features a short take-up trigger, Novak sights, and a recoil-reducing barrel cam with low-mass slide for reduced felt recoil, plus a modular grip system with 3 sizes to fit almost any hand. Check it out at Ruger.com. The Ruger American pistol, because anything else would be un-American.
Since 1937, Ducks Unlimited has led the charge on wetlands and waterfowl conservation. Wetlands reduce the effects of flooding, and recharge our drinking water. But perhaps most importantly, they allow us to experience what makes the outdoors so great. Band together to rescue our wetlands.
It's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs. I'm Alan Gottlieb, founder of the Second Amendment Foundation. When someone says we don't need that kind of gun, remind them the Founding Fathers determined what rights our Constitution should protect. There's a world of difference between rights and needs. It is not the function of government to tell us what we need or what we don't. Certainly no one needs an assault rifle or a Saturday Night Special, or for that matter, no one needs a Corvette with a high-capacity horsepower engine capable of speeds to 150 miles per hour. But in the hands of honest, responsible individuals, we have the right of choice. We have the right to read books others don't like. We have the right to listen to any radio program we choose. We have the right to dress the way we want to. We also have the right to own firearms of our choice. So the next time someone tells you you don't need something, tell them it's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs. Join the Second Amendment Foundation today so that this message and our Bill of Rights might live. Call 425-454-7012. That's 425-454-7012.
For more than 70 years, Timney Triggers has been enhancing the shooter's experience. Whether it's a local competition, a day at the range, or even the hunt of a lifetime. Setting the standard in aftermarket triggers, Timney is now producing more than 170 models of triggers for bolt-action rifles, shotguns, AR rifles, and semi-automatic rifles. Proudly made in the USA since 1946. Find your new trigger at timneytriggers.com.
Bouncing around from gun rights to guns for hunting and everything in between. Played with the idea of carry gun, and I do the thing you're not supposed to do, okay? Just because I blame it on the fact that I'd have to do this for work, but that's not really true. It's just that I like to try different guns. You really ought to find one that works for you and stay with it. I don't. Any given time, I'm liable to be carrying a Smith or a SIG or Springfield Armory or whatever. Just almost anything. Try different things. Even revolvers. And yet, it's interesting. We spent some time with Chris Serino. We had him in here. Great trainer. If you ever get a chance to sign up for one of his classes, man, could he teach shooting. I'm just telling you. I was telling him that I was playing with but experimenting with the SIG P365, smaller 9mm pistol. And that what I was experiencing is that because it's small and it's thin and it feels great in the hands, when I first grab it, my trigger finger tends to go far into the trigger guard when I put my finger on the trigger, like up to the knuckle, the joint, which is a bad place, generally speaking, if you want to be shooting precisely. And I'm saying that if you want to make precise shots, you have to really work on getting your finger back out, at least I do, and pressing the trigger with the pad of the trigger finger. And Chris, as I say, the guy can really teach stuff. He's really good self-defense trainer, really good shooting trainer. He said, that's one of the things we tell people is that we can't tell you where on your finger is exactly the right place that you ought to be touching the trigger. It's interesting. And then, there's little subtle things that make the difference. If you know about putting your finger on the trigger, using just the pad of your trigger finger and pressing the trigger, trying to get it moved straight back, as opposed to sticking it way in there and pulling the trigger, with the blade of the trigger hitting the joint of your finger, you'll shoot better. If you know that, you can make shots that other people don't think you can reasonably make. I'm talking about with your carry pistol, Wang and Steel at 25 and 50 yards. We'll take carry guns and shoot humanoid-shaped steel targets at 100 yards. And, here's a pro tip for you. Don't hold high. Just expose a little bit more front sight above the rear sight, but still put the front sight on the target. If you hold high, you can't see the target. Duh. Just expose more front sight, have the front sight poke up a little bit higher, in the rear notch for your elevation. Yeah, it works. It's pretty slick. It works really well. Fun stuff. But anyway, I just thinking, I really like guns that I can shoot at 25 or 50 yards, handguns. And people go, well, you're not going to have to use in a self-defense situation. Well, I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know what it's going to be. And if it happens to be something that's rare, but it's there, you don't know what your gunfight's going to be, but it's just going to be yours. I want to be able to hit stuff wherever I have to. And I can, with any of the guns I carry, I reasonably can expect I should be able to hit and defend myself against somebody at 50 to 75 yards with any of the handguns I carry. Also at 2 yards. Got to know both of them, don't you? 866-TALK-GUN. Scott's with us out of Oklahoma on one. Hello, Scott. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, Tom. Just want to kind of go over how I got started getting involved with the politics here, and hopefully trying to inspire some other people to step up and start doing the same.
Sure.
So first of all, by nature, I'm a natural introvert. This is not in my nature. I had to force myself to start doing this. We've got to do it. What I've noticed is a lot of the squeaky wheels are getting the grease, and these aren't the right wheels. We need to stand up, and we need to start squeaking a little bit higher too, so that we start getting some of the attention that we need. First of all, I started out small by doing emails and talking to other people just in my regular day-to-day life. And I found out that a lot of people feel exactly the same way I do. I travel a lot around the country, and I've only met one person out of the maybe 8 years all across the country that actually did not agree with what we believe in. So what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to make some connections and get myself on some of these lists that everybody's afraid of getting on, which I used to be too.
You have to, because that's part of the whole standing up deal. Scott, I'm going to get you to hold on a second here, because I'm got to run to a break, and you are absolutely a member of the Truth Squad and talking about how you did it, how it works for you, and got to get people motivated in this. And so I don't go anywhere. We're going to come back. We're going to have Scott here. What we're talking about is how do you make that leap from, yes, somebody ought to do that, to I'm the somebody who ought to do that. If you have that story, if you've done that, give us a holler, 866-TALK-GUN.
I heard the click, click, click of her stiletto heels coming down the hall. And I caught her perfume before she opened the door to my office. And she stood there looking like $1,000,000 tax-free. I want to talk to you, she said. Come back later, I said. I'm listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk right now.
Well, this is interesting, looking at the positions from Elizabeth Warren. She says, as president, I will immediately take executive action to rein in an out-of-control gun industry and to hold both gun dealers and manufacturers accountable for the violence promoted by their products. Fascinating. Basically destroy the firearms industry by holding gun makers responsible, legally liable, for the actions of third parties who misuse guns and break the law. Well, at least she's honest about it. She wants to put them all out of business. Simple as that. We're talking with Scott out of Enid, Oklahoma. Scott decided to get on board and got involved. Truth Squad types of efforts, not shrugging, getting involved. So, Scott, you're starting to tell us, how did this, what was it that tripped your switch that finally made you start doing this?
I started listening to actually just talk radio, and I was a product of the public school system. I just fell for all the stuff. I believed it all, and then I started listening to talk radio. I started listening, I started thinking, I started reading, and I started waking up, as the term is nowadays. And I just said, this is crazy. This is enough. And I've started learning about history, and I'm seeing it repeat. And I don't want to let it repeat without me trying to do something. Just standing idling by and complaining like everybody does and not doing anything about it.
Yep. I mean, you see an awful lot of people that don't do anything, but they are really quick to complain. And basically, it's the old, well, the NRA should do something, or so-and-so should do something, or why didn't the Congress do something? And then you turn and go, well, what did you do?
Right.
Well, I've got a job. I'm busy.
I don't know. And will I win? I don't know, but that doesn't absolve me from trying.
Well, it's a guaranteed loss if we don't try. If we don't do anything, it's a guaranteed loss.
It's like how many deer can you kill sleeping in bed?
That's right. You can't catch any fish in camp. You got to get out there. So there it is. Yes. Yeah. All right. So what have you been doing?
I just want to help people realize that I don't like doing this. I hate it. I'm really nervous. I don't know if you can tell now, but I hate doing this. What I started doing was I started talking to friends, and I started hearing a lot of complainers without doing anything, and I realized I was one of them. So what I did is I joined the state group, and then I started attending the events that they have at the Capitol, and that's when I really started getting involved. And I started emailing my reps. I call them all the time, and they really do listen, especially when you're in person, or you call them or you email them. Your state and your local people are the way to go. Mm-hmm. Then I started making a reference sheet. I'm trying to make connections from good guys to good guys. I started listening to Chris Ann Hall. I got her on the list. I got Gun Talk, of course, Armed American Radio, OK2A. That's the great state group here that's doing stuff. Andy Hoosier, mm-hmm. Bernie Thompson. I've got a lot of these people so that I can just have a piece of paper to hand people when I start these conversations, and they ask, well, what can we do? Well, I got it handy right there. Bam, hand it to them so they have it in their hands and they can do it on their own too.
Wow. So how long have you been doing this?
Well, I started gradually. It's been a few years, just started listening and learning and everything, but just started really getting involved in about a year.
Oh, okay. So how do you feel about it so far?
I feel a lot better about myself because I'm trying. At least I'm not doing nothing. And if the old thing, that what they say, if it saves one life, well, if I can get one person to stand up with me, then I'm good with it.
Tell you what, Scott, I'll stand up with you anytime, partner.
Thank you.
All right. I just want to know, thank you. I can tell you're nervous. You don't like this. You don't like standing up. You don't like being in front of people. I get it. But you honestly had the courage, and that is the right word. You had the courage to look at it and go, this isn't right. What I've been told is not right. That's hard for me, and I want to ask you about this. There's a sense of betrayal when you look at it and go, I have been misled, right?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
And it's hard for people to say, I have been wrong. I have to turn around. I have to get involved. You're doing a hard thing, partner. Just let me tell you, it's hard. But you know what? I love what you said. You feel better about yourself because now you're not standing on the sidelines. You're in the race. You're doing the thing. And trust me on this, sometimes it doesn't feel like it. You're making a difference.
Well, I hope so. And the reason I feel like maybe I am is because I know that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all those people I listed and you pushing. You guys are the ones making a difference. And if I make a difference, that means you've made a difference times two.
Okay, and then you make a difference, and somebody else hears it and makes a difference. So everybody, okay, here's the deal. Before we go, your chance, everybody who's listening right now who is thinking, but I got a job, I'm busy, I don't have time, all the rest of it. What do you say to them?
Gosh, Tom, I don't know how to say it. It's just do it. Do something. Do you think the people that founded this country didn't have better things to do? Do you think they didn't have the same worries and concerns and fears that we do? Stand up. Start talking. Make some noise. Make a difference. Even if you don't, that does not absolve you from trying. If something happens and you didn't try, you're complicit.
There it is. Scott, thank you so much. I appreciate everything you're doing. Keep doing it, man. You're making a difference, and like you say, you're feeling better about yourself. 866-TALK-GUN.
FN, the world's most battle-proven firearms. You want to reach for history, for greatness. So reach for the FN 57, a 5.7 millimeter pistol built with the DNA of over a century of legendary FN firearms. And now, it's within reach at your local firearms dealer. The FN57 is the perfect combination of accuracy and stopping power. FN, the world's most battle-proven firearms.
This is Ryan Gresham with Gun Talk. Visit guntalk.com/win to enter our latest giveaway. This month, enter to win with Surefire. One person will win Surefire's X300U handgun light, featuring a stunning 1,000 lumens. And two folks will win Surefire Stiletto rechargeable pocket flashlight. Enter now through August 30th at guntalk.com/win. That's guntalk.com/win.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. Shopguntalk.com.
Want great deals on guns, ammunition, and gear? Download the free Gundealio app today. With Gundealio, you can search for deals, listen to the Gun Talk podcast, watch gun videos, read gun news, and get notifications right to your phone about deals and special offers. Save money on the products you want from the companies you love. New deals, discounts, and rebates added daily. Gundealio, available for free in the App Store and Google Play.
When the U.S. military's elite units and law enforcement agencies across the globe demanded innovation and reliability, they didn't settle. They chose Sig Sauer. When world champion professional shooters demanded precision accuracy, they didn't settle. They chose Sig Sauer. So it's no surprise more and more civilian gun owners are refusing to settle for anything less. They're choosing Sig Sauer firearms, ammunition, electro-optics, suppressors, air guns, and training. Sig Sauer. Never settle.
Well, I was thinking, the last caller, Scott, if you listen to that, that's one of those wake-up calls. That's one of those get-off-your-butt calls. Well done, Scott. Just look at this story just popped up. Pittsburgh, family still reeling from armed home invasion. A local family is reeling from an armed home invasion. Police said they are still searching for the two men who held the parents at gunpoint while they ordered them to the basement of their home. Their daughters, 12 and 17-year-old, were home at the time, locked themselves in another room, called 911. Said the men asked, two armed men, said they asked to see the couple's son. They told them that they don't have a son. They had the wrong house. When you are sitting in your home and you are watching TV, how close is your self-defense firearm? If someone kicks in your front door and they can get to you in 10 seconds, are you able to defend your family? Just asking. Food for thought. Line 4, Tom is in Omaha, Nebraska. He's got a warning for people. Hey, Tom.
Yes, I recently bought a Beretta ACP-25 Jetfire, and I took it to my local gunsmith, which I've done all my used guns to have them do a once-over.
Right.
And that little 25 had a firing pin that was not properly replaced, and so he caught that. Otherwise, he said if you would have tried to fire that, that thing would have never gone off.
Interesting. So when you buy used guns, do you have the gunsmith check them before you buy them or after you buy them?
Well, usually I have them after I buy them, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. They let you have them, you know, go take them to a gunsmith, used car, you know.
Yeah.
So,
generally not. You buy it and then you get what you get. It's a buyer beware kind of deal.
Yeah, even if it's a, you know, a gun shop or something, you know, they stand behind it, but, you know.
Right.
Anyway, I did that, and I've done that to all my used pistols and semi-autos. But another question for you. Have you ever thought about going on to the, Fox Network like Sean Hannity and Tucker and Laura Ingraham to talk about guns, or have they?
Well, the only problem with that is you got to be in New York if you're going to be on those shows, and I'm not willing.
They do remotes.
Well, yeah, they do. Oh, you mean not like getting a show on, just like being a guest on? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, just a guest.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, actually, it's interesting you mentioned that. We're starting to do a little bit of that, working with people who book guests on to other shows, and starting to work on that. It's a balancing act between wanting to get the word out and also not wanting to always be required to jump and drive into a town and go do a feed somewhere, or when they're doing a video feed, that kind of deal. So yes, to answer your question, yes, I have done a little bit of that. I'm looking at doing some more of it. Honestly, and this is going to sound really bad, I look at it and I look at some of the other folks doing this and think, you know what, I'm better than they are. When it comes to Second Amendment gun stuff, I'm better than they are. I can represent us better. That's what I do. That's all I do all day long, every day. That's what I do. So why wouldn't I do that? So yeah, that's my get off your butt deal of, suck it up. Yes, it's inconvenient, but you can do this and you need to do it. So yeah, that's my thing.
Well, I just think they would listen to you, like, Sean Hannity or Tucker or Laura Ingraham, and they'd listen to you.
Well, the other thing is, none of them knows anything about guns. They may be conservative, but they are generally pretty, and they will say nice things about the Second Amendment, but they actually don't know anything about guns. I mean, it was interesting that this past week, Rush Limbaugh actually went off on red flag laws. He's usually kind of doesn't talk about guns much, and I was glad to see him do that because he has such a huge audience. So, there it all is, so it's exactly. I mean, Jim says, all the more reason that I should do that. Yes, I agree. I need to be doing that. And I have been as guilty as everybody else saying, well, yeah, I could do that. I should do that, but I don't because, hey, guess what? I'm busy, blah, 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 blah. All the same old excuses that we all use. So thank you, Tom, for mentioning this and getting me off my rear end, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right. You take care. Oh, my gosh, I just keep yakking here. Let's go talk to Greg. Helena, Montana, line 5. Hey, Greg.
By the way, just for your information, Sean Hannity talks all the time about the fact that he carries all the time. Anyway, what I actually called about was to bring you up to date on Montana information.
Yes.
Steve Bullock, our current anti-gun governor that's running for president, has recently said on the news that most NRA members and most gun owners all agree with red flag laws and also universal background checks.
Right.
And that AR-15s are never used for hunting or self-defense. Yeah, every word that came out of his mouth is a total BS lie.
Yeah.
But anyway, putting him aside then, the current, let's say, lieutenant governor that's running to be the next governor on the Democrat side, Mike Cooney, somebody was talking to him on a radio program the other day and mentioned the Second Amendment, and Mike, first words out of his mouth, the same as all the other Democrats, is, "Oh yeah, I'm a hunter."
I'm a hunter, but that's what they always do. Well, I'm a hunter, but as soon as they say that, it tells me, but I don't understand what the Second Amendment is, and I will infringe on your rights. And yes, I'll be okay taking away some of your guns. Maybe not all of them, not yet, but certainly some of them. And when you got a governor who says nobody hunts with an AR-15, nobody uses it for self-defense, this is a guy who simply doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, he's got a D in front of his name, and when it comes to guns, that's a no-go for me. All right, back with you. Let's go back to line 5. Greg is still with us out of Montana. And Greg, I know you didn't get a chance to tell us about the governor race there in Montana and meeting the candidate. Talk to me, man.
Yeah. Well, anyway, on Wednesday, I went to a meet and greet with hopefully our next governor, Republican Greg Gianforte, And it was pretty interesting because it was a small group of people, and Greg was walking around talking to anybody and everybody. And so here I am. We're talking about, I would mention what I just said to you about Mike Cooney and stuff. And he says, of course, the Second Amendment doesn't have anything to do with hunting. It has to do with defending ourselves, even if it's against our own government.
Whoa.
And he said, and I bet the people in Hong Kong wish they had a Second Amendment right now. And I said, yeah, and if they don't watch it, they'll have China rolling right over them.
Well, that is going to happen there. It's funny you mentioned that, because I was going to use that as an example. The same people who are saying, we don't need a Second Amendment here, in the next breath they're reporting, and in Hong Kong, China is basically taking over and going to beat the snot out of, or maybe murder the protesters there. And I'm thinking, yeah, I bet they wish they had a Second Amendment. That's incredible. So what is this candidate's name again?
Greg Gianforte.
Okay. Gianforte.
Let's see. Gianforte.
Got it. We're going to see if we can get him on.
He's our current congressman.
Okay.
And and when his term expires for congressman, now he's running for governor.
Well, what are his chances? Because he's the front runner right now, or just the front runner on the Republican side?
On the Republican side, but then everybody that's running on the Democrat side hasn't got a clue.
Yeah, but it really, at this point, it's kind of like, do they have a chance? Because, I don't even understand how Montana gets somebody who's anti-gun as a governor in the first place. But then again, that's the influx of outsiders. Oh, they lie.
And they tell people that it's about hunting. And
we got the same thing. I see the same thing here. We get politicians who say, I was in the military, and he shows all his military background. And people go, well, he must be good on guns. No. Just last week, we had this military veteran who worked for the Brady campaign wanting to ban guns. So being in the military, that doesn't mean that you're pro-gun or actually even know anything about guns. So same deal here. When they start off, and I agree with you, when they start off with, well, I'm a hunter, that tells me red flags go up, alarm bells go off, and going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Because, the point is, the Second Amendment is not about hunting at all. And for those who don't understand, the Bill of Rights is not a list of permissions. It doesn't give you the permission to do anything. It doesn't give you a right. The Bill of Rights is a list of things that we told the government, you have to stay away from this. These are restrictions on the government, not rights that are granted to the people. And a lot of people just have that completely backwards. Greg, thank you again for doing that, for speaking up and sharing that information. I very much appreciate it. Let's see. I want to just mention to Larry and Dale, we are out of time here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get you into the after show. Dale just got back. He just attended a Moms Demand Action gun control rally, and I really want to hear that. So you want to make sure that you check in on the podcast. Best way, frankly, I think, the best way for you to listen to the after show, which is our podcast, is to get the Gun Dealio smartphone app on your phone. It's free. Available on the Androids and on the iPhones. It's called Gun Dealio. If you get that, also if you'll allow notifications on it, we will send you messages about good deals and special pricing and magazine giveaways and things that different manufacturers have, and even special deals when you go into a gun store. You'll get an alert. It's called Gun Dealio. But definitely want to listen in to the after show. If you've not heard it, you're in for a treat. In the meantime, this was a wake-up call for a lot of us. Time to get more involved. If you're involved, do more. If you're not involved, get involved. Make a call to your senators right now, because they're going to be taking up gun control very quickly. If we don't do anything, they're going to take away our rights. It's your turn now.